You point out that to this point, Putin has shown a certain amount of pragmatism, biting off exactly what he can chew and no more. What happened this time?
I think he just got cocky. I think he got away with a lot, essentially, from, I think, 2016, 2014, the Crimea annexation. Then there was sort of a normalization relationship with the West. Then 2015, 2016 American elections, where he got a lot of credit for electing Donald Trump. I don't think he did as much as the Americans say he did, but he was happily, being a former KGB agent, really took credit for this. And then there was war in Syria where they claimed success. So he just thought that he can do everything. I mean, after 22 years in power, 22 years in the Kremlin, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So I think it completely got into his head that now he can just take over territories in Europe, and everybody would be in the decadent West, as they say, with its own problems and its own conflicts, just will not be able to put up a defense. And so that's why I believe that he just decided that he can bite off the whole world, essentially, to stand up and fight for the Russian place equal to the American place in the world with the rest of the world.
You know, I've heard a lot of people analyze what happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis with your great-grandfather and Kennedy, and the idea that they were able to reach negotiation where they both kind of got what they wanted. But I've also heard that, you know, Khrushchev actually allowed Kennedy to go out and campaign on that and make a big deal about what he had done, and let him take a lot of the credit for that. It's probably part of the reason that we were able to reach an agreement like that. How do you see something like this? Because that seems like a much more difficult circumstance. Like, those sort of circumstances don't exist today. I can't see Putin allowing that, and it's kind of hard to see Joe Biden allowing that too.
Absolutely. And, you know, you don't even need my answer. You already, as Mikhail Gorbachev, the last Soviet president, said, in your question, there is an answer. You just answered it. I think these people, they really understood. I mean, both of them fought in the war, Kennedy and Khrushchev. They knew what the war was. So they absolutely were not going to let the war happen. That was a given on both sides. So they had more humanity and more understanding of what it means to fight against each other. And I don't think that's happened, certainly not in Putin's mind. I mean, he talks about the war all the time, and yet he began the war, and they're not even calling it the war. It's like a special operation, which is completely inconceivable if you see footage from Ukraine of how Russia is destroying that neighboring country. So I think that the time when 75 years since the war, it's just, unfortunately, the memory faded, and it's all about heroism. It's not about the suffering. And it doesn't seem that Putin understands that. And also, what you asked previously, why is he so reckless this time around? And it does seem, and there's a lot of comparison with Khrushchev, that Khrushchev was enthusiastic about certain things. He was not even keeled. He could get excited. He could get kind of way ahead of himself and be very unpredictable. I'm looking at Putin right now and think, well, Khrushchev was very zen in his political decisions, which is a lot to say.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.